Howdy y'all and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little Arc Extinction. Alright, so managed to get that gacha back to the base. Took forever. Forever. Man, my textures aren't loading in very well today. I actually had started either that or this dude is really not. No, your face isn't loading in, right? I feel like that's blurry. Yeah, see that guy's definitely not loading. I don't know this game. I tell ya, it's crazy. So I thought today we would go check out the pit where I got the gacha from, the Underforest, I believe it's called. And so we're gonna head out that way. It probably took me close to an hour to get that gacha back to base. It's so slow. It's ridiculous. I mean this enforcer is, super fast and only getting faster as I level up with it. But that gacha was so slow. And I couldn't let it follow me because I didn't want it to die, and I don't know how good of a fighter it is. Uh, so we're gonna take the enforcer here out to the pit, the Underforest, whatever it's called. I think it's over this way. Yeah, I recorded for about 5 minutes and then the game froze because I hadn't bothered to reboot this game, and my modded Minecraft series both are super picky. Maybe not picky, but glitchy. Let's go with glitchy. They're super glitchy, and whatever the deal is, they won't run correctly a lot of the time if I don't reboot my computer first. Nothing else is affected the same way. So it's bizarre. It is bizarre that they are so affected, I guess, by your computer not being freshly rebooted. I don't. I almost wonder if it's not like loading this game. Oh, okay. Uh, so I think that means there's a. Okay, usually there's a smoke trail on those. That noise is usually supply drop, right? For this particular map. And that clearly landed on top of this mountain over here. But I don't see the smoke trail that indicates there's a supply drop on top of that mountain. So we're going to ignore it, and we're going to go down here. Who wants to sit through the supply drop anyways? They take too long. You have to fight through 5 waves of creatures, and they're like super slow spawning, and they get lost on the way, and it's not cool, man. Okay. No, I was actually here on my previous attempt to record, and I had made it over to here, and I did this, and then the game completely locked up. So, but yeah, I want to get down here. I want to explore this place. I don't know anything about it, other than this is where the gacha come from. I don't know what else would be. Looks like we got some casteroids down in here. Looks like a Diplo over there. I don't think I see any of those up above. We got some metal rocks. Yeah, oh man, it's oh, those are gachas. It's no, I don't know why I'm saying it's a. My family agreed to go to a New Year's party, and we go every year, so it's not like an unexpected thing. But then after agreeing to go to the party, they asked if I was coming, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there. And so then something came up, and so then all the rest of the people that were supposed to go with me didn't go to the party, and so it was just me heading out to the party last night. And so, you see that? That's a very red raptor. Why is it so bright down here? Oh, there's glowy crystals. Okay. I'm not seeing anything too spectacular other than those gachas down here. I mean, it's a nice, normal-looking biome, I guess. But I'm not... Like, I don't see any, like, Quetzals flying around, or... I've never actually... I think we tamed a Quetzal when I played on a group game once, but I've never done one solo. I've tried a couple of times, but anyways, so yeah, I went to that last night. It started at 5 p.m., which is crazy. No, it didn't start 5 p.m. Let's be real. The people that I went over to their New Year's party have the worst time sticking to a schedule. And so they say 5, but what they really mean is closer to 6. And I know that, not that we've done it in a couple of years, but we used to go to the movies a lot with them. And we would always have to tell them the movie started like an hour before it did, otherwise they were never going to be there. And so they sent me a message and like, hey, what are you bringing to the party? And I'm like, I have no idea, because this is a weird looking... Why is this so weird looking? There's just nothing in it. Oh, I thought you were an enforcer. I was gonna get a... Ooh, that's a level 48 dinosaur. Interesting. I was gonna give myself a... Ooh, let's find an enforcer. If that's a level 48, we could probably get a really nice high level... 23? Oh, yeah, 15's not as impressive. I was hoping to see a Titan down here, right? Aren't there supposed to be Titans on this map? I don't know how to spawn them. I guess I ought to look that up one of these days. I thought they were going to be over ground, but maybe they're all underground here. I just heard a monkey. Oh, right there. Monkeys. And anyways, so then I reply back. I'm like, bring? Like, I've never brought anything to the party before, so I'm like, well, nobody's actually told me, like, what we're doing or what kind of food we're having or what I'm supposed to bring. I have no idea. And they're like, oh, it's the same party as always, silly. Okay, well, I don't think that was a silly question, so it's kind of rude. And so then after that, that's when the rest of the people that were supposed to go with me were like, oh yeah, we're gonna be out of state. We're not gonna be able to go to the party. I'm like, they're like, well, you don't have to go to the party. I'm like, I already told them I would. And why wouldn't I? I go every year. Compies. And so I went to the party. Now, most of the people that I hang out with are not drinkers, which includes myself. And so there's no alcohol at the party, and we don't dance, so there's not really music at the party. So instead, what we do is we play board games in between all the people dealing with their kids and having conversations that I am not interested in. And before you think like, oh, you're not interested in the conversation, they talked about deer hunting for hours last night. I haven't deer hunted since I was 16 and have no anything to input. The information they're talking about, not useful. Um, uh, the Then they went to play a game with some other people while I was sitting there, and so they went to a different table, and so then those guys' wives sat down at the table I was at to chit chat with me, and then they talked about like mommy groups they were in, and I'm like, all right, well, I got nothing to put in on this conversation. And so finally we got to board games. And hey, I helped you. Need to attack me? It's a lot of weird water on this map. Hey, you guys seen any Titans? Yeah, we played the game. I don't know exactly what it was called, but something about treasure hunting and ghosts. So we played it like 7 times, and we lost every time. You got a little map, kind of like the game of Clue. And so when the game starts, man, this dude just ran out of stamina. When the game starts, you put down a treasure in certain rooms, and you put down ghosts in a certain room. And so as you play, you roll a 6-sided dice to see how far your token moves, and everything other than a 6 adds a ghost to the map. And so the goal is if 3... Oh no. I hope you are on the save me mode, because that could have went really bad. And so we played like 7 times and lost. If 3 ghosts appear in the same room, because there's only so many rooms, and you draw a card, and the card tells you which room to put the ghost in. And then there's only 1 card for each room, and then there's a shuffle card. So if the shuffle card comes up, you reshuffle the deck and pull a new card. And so the rooms fill up with ghosts pretty quickly, because it's rare to get a 6 on the dice, which means that if you're not getting the shuffle card, which is only 1 of them in the deck, then you're adding a ghost to the map. And so if 3 of them appear in the same room, they become a haunting. And if you get 6 hauntings on the map, it takes 2 people to take out a haunting. So two people have to move into the same room, and and so we lost and lost and lost and lost, and finally one of the women, she looked it up online, and people were talking about how easy the game was, and we're like, oh, we can't. I'm like, why don't you let me see the rule book, because I feel like we're missing something. Obviously something's not going right here, because there are two levels to the game: basic and advanced, and we were playing basic and losing horribly. So I'm reading through the rules, and what has happened is they have confused one of the rules. And if you're carrying a treasure and you enter a room with a ghost, or you're in a room with a ghost, so it's just taking me back to the surface. I don't want to go back to the surface. I'm done exploring. I'll take this thingy here, though. And so the way that they were playing it was, if you enter a room with a ghost, you're stuck there until you defeat the ghost, which is just done by rolling a die. But there are two spots on the six-sided die that don't get rid of a regular ghost, and I one game managed to never roll a ghost to get rid of it. Every roll I did, so I was just trapped in this room. I was trapped in two different rooms because someone would come along and defeat the ghost I couldn't defeat, and then I'd move and I'd get stuck with another ghost. And I just basically kept moving back and forth between the same two rooms, never accomplishing anything. And so then it turns out that you only get trapped by a ghost if you're carrying a treasure. If you don't have a treasure, you can just move past the ghost. And so the first time we played with those rules, we won. And because it's a much easier game when you can move around, because the way the game's laid out, a room counts as one square, whereas a hallway, every square in the hallway counts as a square. And so uh, and so it's much quicker to pass through the rooms than it is to go through the hallway. And so if you're not stuck going through a ghost in the hallway, it is much, much faster to go through ghost-filled rooms. And since we were able to do that, we quite easily, I think we had 2 hauntings to go before we failed, because 6 hauntings equals a fail. And but yeah, so that game ate up a good chunk of the evening, and then and then there's like a dozen kids there, like teenagers and younger, and so one of them had brought a game and had brought it to the table where we were playing games. Oh, I thought I saw something on me, but I guess that was my tail. And but then when somebody asked him how to play the game, he sat down and played one game with us, and then packed up his game and put his game away. So we only got to play one level of Forbidden Island, I think, which was an interesting game, and I would have liked to have played it a second time after I understood the rules. But it's the you got to match 4 cards and get your token to the spot where the treasure is. And there's 4 treasures, and so you're trying to collect the 4 treasures and then get back to the helicopter pad. And but the island is sinking, and so every round you draw a Oh, that was a tech raptor. I was wondering why it was so weird looking. So every round you draw a bunch of cards that flip the tiles over. And so on one side they're above the water, on the other side they're below the water, and if they get picked again while they're below the water, they sink and they're gone. And so it was interesting. It was a little tough, and but the dude totally packed it up and put his game away instead of letting us play a second game. I don't know what the deal was. And then oh, what did we do after that? I don't know. We played another game. We played a game called Acuity. Which is like a pattern matching game. Was interesting. And then I won that game pretty easily. And then I think we played a Trivial Pursuit game. I don't know. Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit. I did not win that game. I could only answer like one question. They were difficult questions. I thought, oh, Harry Potter. I know Harry Potter. Let's try that game out. And then it's questions like, who is the author of the Advanced Potions book? I'm like, I have no clue. I'm aware of the general storyline of Harry Potter. I've read the books, but I didn't take notes. I don't know what any of that stuff is. So yeah, but mostly it was by that point just turned into a regular. The dude whose house we went to gets upset if he doesn't win the games, and so he. Oh, and we played a game, a sock game, where you spin a dial and there's a bunch of junk in a sock and you have to find it without being able to look at it with your hand shoved into the sock. I don't know what that was called, but we did play around with that. But yeah, the dude wasn't winning, and so the more he didn't win, the angrier he got about not winning. And then his 9-year-old was upset that she wasn't allowed to play with the older teenagers. And so he was getting mad about that because the 9-year-old wanted to stay up all night with the older teenagers. Yeah, I'm not seeing any Titan down here. I feel like we've looped around. Yeah, but it was all right, I guess. Um, oh, let me tell you, I got another one here. So I am at a party last night, as per the conversation I just had. So I'm at a party, and about 12:50, the guy whose house we're at says to me, 12:50 a.m. says to me, "Hey, your brother called earlier, and he wanted to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh no, why would my brother call me at a party?" And hey guys, I'm gonna steal your stuff, so you gotta die so I don't get attacked here. And so I didn't know what was going on, so I emailed, or no, I didn't email. I texted because it's 12:53 a.m. by the time I got to it. I texted. I don't think I have his number on my phone, so I texted my sister-in-law. I'm like, "Hey, you guys called? What's up?" And no response. And I'm thinking, "Oh man, I wonder what's going on. Why would he call me? Why would he call someone else's house at a party that I was at to talk to me? Obviously, it's important if you track someone down to a party they're at to try and speak to them. And so they didn't respond. So I texted their daughter, um, because I have, my niece's number, and so she didn't respond. And I'm like, it's not even 1 a.m. on New Year's Eve, and none of you are up. What is going on? So no response from any of them. Uh, so by that time the party was winding down. They were, um, starting to put the kids to bed, and the parents are tired. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna go home and I guess play some video games because I'm gonna go to bed for another couple 3 hours here. And so I get home and I'm like, okay, well, everything seems fine here. I thought maybe they were calling because something had happened here at my home, and in case somebody from here called them. And but no, everything here was fine, and I never got a response to my text messages till this morning. But when I finally made it to my computer and checked my email, there was an email from my brother about why he called me. I hope you're sitting down because this is a major issue. They went to the store and they bought a PlayStation and they wanted to buy a television, but they weren't sure which television to get. And the television they wanted to get was no longer on sale, so they wanted me to figure out what television they should get. So my brother called my house, talked to people here who told him that I was at a party, and so then he called the party so that he could ask me to Google deals on televisions for him. Seriously, man, you got the same Google I have access to. Just Google it. It'd be fine. I feel like this guy's moving a little slow here. I mean, you do have like several hundred tons of meat on you, and some rocks and some other things. But yeah, I found that to be a bit ridiculous. And on was it Christmas Day? I forget. I don't think it was Christmas Day, but because he's been over here since then. But there was a day he came over and came down and talked to me about wanting me to go online and try to find them deals on PlayStation bundles and televisions. I don't understand. You got the same internet I've got. You use the internet. You're in the IT field. Your kids use the internet. Why do I need to hunt down shopping deals for you? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why you would call someone when they're at a party to ask them to go online and shop for you. I don't know. Well, I feel like I am just going to run this guy home, and then I'm going to have to look up what the deal is with those titans. I don't know how to spawn them. I feel like I've been all over the place on the map, and I should have seen at least some. I know one time I was out here, and some huge, like, corrupted tentacles spawned out of the ground, and I think I was supposed to defeat some waves of monsters, but I didn't understand how it worked, and so I destroyed the tentacles instead. So I'm hoping I didn't ruin this map's ability to spawn titans, because it's also how the supply drops work, and I know I did the supply drops wrong the first time. Now this is not the correct path in here. I need to go to the next one. One of these comes in from the side and I get lost, and one of these comes in from what I consider the front. And then I won't get lost if I come in that way. I just get lost trying to find it. But, yeah, so. Alright, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. And yep, here it is. I will talk to you later.